Hi, and welcome to Divine Muse Messages. Today we're doing a oracle reading for the sign of Scorpio. So this is a Shadows and Spirits oracle reading along with the Angelarium oracle deck. So this is going to look into the darker aspects of what is going on around you, Scorpio, and kind of let you know what's hidden on the surface that we may not be able to see with our own physical eyes. So we're going to check in and see what's going on there in the shadow side and how we can better integrate it into our lives. So it's not going to go anywhere because the shadow aspect is a part of us. So we either can fight it and resist it, or we can embrace it and learn how to utilize it to the best of our ability to help us in this life. So that's what this is going to be trying to accomplish with this reading. Okay, so Scorpio, the first card that I had for you was Yesid. And Yesid is the ninth emanation. He's actually the root and the foundation that supports the world. And I'm reading this directly from the guidebook so that I give you the right information. So he acts as the spiritual gateway between the physical and the spiritual realms. He is the medium through which we experience the tree of life. Upon his shoulders rests the sky, and all that lies beyond it runs through his fingers. We stand at this doorway and peer through, seeking answers to our nature. Through the indigo orb, a gateway appears. As a single column again, the flow of energy through the tree only moves downward. Yesid is the last stop before moving into the fully physical realm. He is the looking glass through which we examine ourselves. He will be found in a new life through speech and through the doorways. So he's what is standing at the top of your foundation of your darker shadow side. So he is the root that is guiding this entire reading today. Okay, and then the whole purpose of this oracle reading is so that you can understand better what it is that you need to do in order to utilize manifestation with the moon. That is at the center of this reading. So at the center of the reading is what it is that this is surrounding, and it was surrounding your manifestations with the moon. Okay, so the card that's to the right of you, Scorpio, so what's going to be on your top right side is going to be the Netza, which is your right leg of endurance. And what Netza is representing to you is the seventh emanation. He is the force that resists, stalwart in the face of adversity. This great leader will carry us forth through our darkest times. Netza is the strength to endure, regardless of suffering. When we feel that we have reached our limits and yet new strength continues to emerge, we find the embrace of Netza. With any increase in force, he too will grow stronger. Each challenge is met with equal vigor. So the green orb is both the weight of a great boulder upon our shoulders and the strength that is needed to carry it. Supporting the pillar of mercy, Netza is the closest that we get to the base of the tree before merging back into the middle. His station is one of constant stress and strain, supporting the weight of the tree by pressing back upwards and against it. He can be found in victory, exercise, and leadership. And the next card that's going to be on the right of you, is Shalekio. Shalekio is the angel of snow, and he represents the bravery of happiness in the face of sadness. Happiness that stands against the stark cold and does not shiver. The winter is heralded by the fall of snow as Shalekio dances, each step as unique as the snowflakes that frolic about this angel. The quiet reveler of winter. Shalekio moves over the rime, a bright and joyous visage, amidst a harrowing landscape. Its presence brings relief to those that seek escape from the overburdened world. You must take refuge from what ails you. This is your time to recover. He comes in the signs of a snowflake, a seed, or a pine tree. So the next card that I have for you is Sukluf. And Sukluf is the angel of verdancy. This speaks of the wind that moves through the grass in waves, carrying with it the seeds of growth. It flows across the landscape and burrows into the cool soil. Beneath the fallow earth, seeds vibrate and burst, changing the loom. The transmuted life already craving the open air and the ecstasy of sunlight. It is nature and natural for plant life to seek the sky and the blessings of the sun. With this simple act, prayer, the dominion of Sukluf expands. With open hands, Sukluf denies decay and defies entropy. All is verdant where Sukluf wanders. Let your roots take hold and allow the gaze of Sukluf to fall onto you. It is the season for blossoming. He is symbolized by a branch, a flower, and a seed. The next card that was here for you is Jevra. Jeffra is the left hand judgment. He is the fifth emanation, and he is the hand that separates the rule of law that brings order to the world. Jevra assesses what is just, helping you overcome adversaries both within and without. Here's the power to cleave apart a unified whole and leave its component in pieces. It is a trait that commands as much fear as respect, because when it comes with an inherent violence. This does not come without enmity. It is an act that must be committed to create balance. The red orb exists as a boundary closed to the unworthy. Jevra's position is at the center of its pillar. It defines that pillar's traits of severity. Her push against Chesed on the opposite side of the tree is met with equal and opposite resistance. Without both of them in equal measures, we have no means of maintaining our healthy relationships. We must have judgment to discern what is healthy for us so that we can bring it into our lives and embrace it. This is the final law of bravery, punishment, and law. Okay. And at the bottom of the foundation of your dark or your shadow side is Keter, and he is the crown of spirituality. So I thought it was very interesting that sitting at the top of your tree would be Yesod, the root, and the bottom would be the crown of spirituality. So it's like a backwards journey in this life. We may not understand what is exactly the purpose of life when we're first born, and we won't until we get through the experiences and sometimes often tribulations and very grief-stricken experiences. Then we go backwards and we adapt, or we learn the meaning of spirituality for us. And so I think that's why this is going backwards. So Keter is represented by the first emanation, the first utterance and the front of the energy through which Ein Sof emanates into the universe. This crown sits above the head and embodies that which is beyond our comprehension. One must envision Keter not as an object that can be perceived, but as the light that is cast upon. Keter's light is beyond knowability, a timeless expanse of pure consciousness. Only through respect for our own limitations do we begin to see the shadow of its nature. It is the dark orb beyond which lies the infinite. As the highest point of the tree, all continuums cascade downwards from it. Keter stands in contrast to Malkuth, who rests at the very bottom of the tree. The span that lies between them measures the complete distance from the most spiritual to the most physical aspects of our existence. Journeying downward from this point, all other emanations become increasingly close to our present experiences. This is found in our spiritual epiphanies through faith and through humility. Okay, so that was the Angelarium that was surrounding your shadow side, and your shadow side is being focused on your manifestations with the moon. So the way that they are asking you to embrace this is by silencing your mind, and let silence guide you to your inner peace. And once you do this, you will be turning over a new page. Let love lead the way for change. So once you work through your shadow side, Scorpio, you will be radiating with a loving force of energy that they're asking you to allow that energy to be your guiding force. So they want you to work yourself through this time of a shadow side that they've deemed for you is necessary to transmute and transform yourself. And so once you've done this, and once you've completed the tasks that they're asking you to do, you will have mastered the defiance of grief. So those were the two shadow spirits that came out for the ones that you would be mastering by doing the shadow work. So you will no longer be defied by grief. And defiance is disobedience. And grief is to be stricken in a state of sadness that is beyond your control and that is often not somewhere that we need to remain. So that's going to be the goal of the shadow work. It's going to try to help you to understand how to use and do manifestations with the moon by overcoming that grief and defiance that you might be carrying or that you once carried. So this is not a experience that's supposed to be fearsome or dreadful. It's a time for expansion and to remove the darkness that does not serve a purpose and replace it with the light of the real Scorpio that has been hiding in the darkness of these things that have been not allowing you to fully embody and be your true self and love fully with your whole heart. So I hope this helps for you, Scorpio. Thank you so much, and please like, subscribe, and share my channel.